I'm getting, the more I'm starting to worry about my financial future.
I can help.
What? Who's that?
It's your financial planning conscience.
Oh, great. Where's the best place to start my planning process?
Well, the best place to start would be becoming comfortable with the 6 steps of financial planning.
That sounds kind of scary. What exactly are the 6 steps?
The first step is determining your current financial situation.
How do I do that?
Well, figure out how much income and how many assets and liabilities you have before you make your plan. This will protect you from overspending.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad.
The second step is developing your financial goals. This is deciding what you want to accomplish with the money you save.
What kind of things can I buy?
You can buy a house, a car, or anything else you can come up with.
Wow, can I start saving now? This sounds amazing.
Yeah, saving and handling your money wisely can be exciting.
What's the third step?
The next 2 steps are identifying your options and evaluating your alternatives.
Well, what does that mean?
These mean you can think about whether there are more effective ways to save your money before creating your final plan.
Oh, okay.
The final step is creating and using your plan in everyday life.
What happens if things change and my priorities shift over the years?
That's why you have to make your plans flexible so you can revise it over time.
Wow, thanks. This financial stuff doesn't sound so scary after all.
Not so fast. You still have a long way to go before you're ready to retire.
Okay, then what's the next thing I need to know?
Well, when you start looking for a career, it's important to know your rights as an employee.
Oh, good point. I just got a job and I don't want to be taken advantage of.
Definitely not. The first one is that an employer can't fire you for being pregnant. They also can't discriminate against gender, race, age, or marital status. The employer must pay at least minimum wage, and they have to pay into Social Security and unemployment insurance if they ever let you go down the line.
Wow, I didn't know I had so many rights.
You most certainly do. Since you have a job now, you're going to have to learn how to manage all that money you're making.
How do I do that?
Well, you need to learn how to make a successful budget. It needs to be carefully planned, and your estimates cannot be wild guesses. It also needs to be practical, so no sports car in 2 weeks, okay?
Okay.
It must be flexible, so it's easily changed, and must be written down so you won't forget it.
Got it. Okay, so now I have a question. I was in the grocery store the other day, and the cashier totally charged me $5 extra for that box of Honey Nut Cheerios I bought. How do I make it right?
Good question. There are many legal options for consumers, actually. The first one would be small claims court. That deals with disputes with money between $500 and $10,000. There's no lawyers, and decisions that are made are final. There's also a class action suit, which is when a group of people go after one organization because they all suffered the same injustice. And if those don't fit your situation, there's also the American Bar Association and the Legal Aid Society.
Oh, okay.
So do you think any of those options will work for you?
I think the Legal Aid Society, because it's low cost of a lawyer and it's really not that big of an issue. I just was really angry. When I start to make money, where's the best place to invest it?
A savings account would be a good idea.
Well, I heard there are a few different kinds, like regular savings accounts, certificates of deposit, money market accounts, and U.S. savings bonds. So what are they?
Well, a regular savings account, which is also called a passbook account, requires little to no minimum balance and has low interest rates. A certificate of deposit is money left over for a specific period of time to earn a rate of return. A money market account requires a minimum balance and earns varying interest from month to month. And a savings bond earns interest from the day you buy it until the day you use it. So the longer you use it, the more it's worth.
Wow, I didn't know they were so different.
The next thing I want to show you is consumer credit.
What's that?
There are 2 types. Closed-end credit, which is a one-time loan that you pay back over a period of time, like a mortgage or a car payment, or open-end credit, which is a loan with a limit on how much you can borrow for a variety of goods and services, like a department store credit card, for example, from Macy's or Nordstrom.
Ooh, I love Nordstrom. So I've been thinking, one day I'm going to want to buy a house. How would I go about that?
Financing for a house can be a challenging and daunting task, which is why it's so important that you understand the different types of mortgages. A fixed-rate mortgage is where you pay the same amount of money every month until it's completely paid off. An adjustable rate mortgage, which is when the interest rate increases and decreases during the life of the loan. A home equity loan is based on the market and the amount of money the owner owes on the house and the mortgage. And refinancing is when you obtain a new mortgage to replace the existing one.
Oh, okay. So once I get get all this house baloney out of the way, how else can I invest my money?
You can invest in mutual funds, which is when investors pool their money to buy stocks, corporate bonds, which is a written pledge to repay a specific amount of money with interest. Then there's government bonds, which is also a written pledge of a government or municipality to repay a specific sum of money with interest. Also, common stocks and preferred stocks, which give you the voting rights within the company and gives the owner the advantage of receiving cash dividends.
Awesome. Anything else?
You can also invest in real estate. You just have to make sure you know what kind of financing is available and what the property taxes are.
That definitely sounds like something I'd be interested in down the line, of course. Some of my friends are buying stocks, and I was also starting to think about it. Do you have any information on that?
Oh, I have a lot of information on stocks.
Okay.
Blue chip stocks are issued by bigger companies such as AT&T or Kellogg's. Income stock pays higher dividends and is usually issued by gas and electric companies. Growth stock is issued by companies with higher potential earnings. Cyclical stock, which has a market value that reflects the rise and fall of the economy. Defensive stock that remains stable regardless of the economy. Also, large cap stocks issue large numbers of shares with large amounts of capitalization, and small cap stocks are issued by companies with capitalization of $500 million or less. And penny stocks, which sell for $1 to $10 per share, but they go up and down rapidly.
I think I'll try penny stocks.
Maybe you should learn more about stocks first. I don't think you're ready for their unpredictability just yet.
Okay, maybe in a couple years. Ew, wait, what do I need to know before I can retire with dignity?
Well, first you need to understand annuities.
What are those?
An annuity is a contract from an insurance company that guarantees a future fixed or variable payment to the purchaser for a certain number of years or for life.
Oh, are there different kinds of annuities I could purchase?
Yeah, there's immediate annuities, which provide income immediately, and deferred annuity, which are payments that start at a future date but interest starts to accumulate right away.
I wonder which one I'll choose when my time comes.
Guess what it's time for?
I don't know, a lunch break?
No, it's time for retirement.
Now that you mention it, I've been wondering, after I made all this money, what's going to happen to it after I'm not around anymore?
That's a great question. So later on in life, when you have kids, you should really consider making a will.
What's a will?
A will is a legal document where you decide what parts of your wealth and estate will go to which family members or friends. And there are different kinds. There's a simple will, a traditional marital share will, an exemption trust will, and a stated dollar amount will.
That sounds complicated.
It's not that bad. A simple will leaves everything to your living spouse. A traditional marital share will, which leaves half of the adjusted cross estate to the spouse, and the other half may go to the kids or other heirs. The exemption trust will, where all assets go to the spouse except for a certain amount which goes into a trust fund. And the stated dollar amount will, where you pass on any amount that will satisfy your goals to your spouse.
Oh geez, I hope I don't have to worry about any of that anytime soon.
Trust me either. There's also a living will.
What's the difference? They both sound the same to me.
No, they're a little different. A living will is a legal document in which you state if you want to be kept alive by artificial means, if you become terminally ill or are unable to make such a decision.
Oh, I saw this in Grey's Anatomy. Isn't this like in a DNR?
Exactly.
I think my head is going to explode with all this knowledge. Do you think I'm ready to start my 6 steps? Conscience? Conscience? Oh, well, I guess I'm ready to start this all on my own.
You won't stand with me if you won't go with me.